Chapter 1. I died on my wedding night, cold, piercing cold. I snapped my eyes open, met by a dazzling sea of red. Red candles, red drapes, a red wedding gown. I stared blankly at everything around me, my mind a total void. "Madam, you're awake?" A maid with her hair in twin buns leaned in, a fawning smile on her face. "The Marquis has been waiting outside for a while now." "Marquis?" I looked down instinctively at myself, a bright red bridal robe embroidered with golden mandarin ducks playing in water, and a piece of creamy white jade pendant hanging at my waist. I died on my wedding night. It was at the most lavish estate in the capital, the Wind-Chant Marquis' mansion. I was the legitimate daughter of the house, Shengjing, married to the youngest marquis in the court, Mo Beihen. I remembered that night's moon, cold as ice, and how sharp the dagger felt piercing my chest. Most of all, I remembered the way he looked at me, chillingly detached, like I was already a corpse. He said, "Shengjing, do you think I don't know you killed Rauer?" Rauer, Lin Rauer. The Marquis's cousin, his childhood sweetheart. But I didn't poison her. I opened my mouth to explain, only to see Lin Rauer step gracefully from behind a screen, a triumphant smile on her face. "Sister, don't blame me. This position, as the Marquis's wife, was always meant to be mine," she said lightly, her handkerchief drifting to the floor. Then everything went dark. "Now, I'm alive again." The maid kept chattering, "Madam, you have no idea the Marquis stayed up 3 days and nights straight just to marry you. He personally begged His Majesty for this match." I curled my lips into a cold smirk. "Personally begged for the marriage?" In my past life, that phrase blinded me into thinking he actually cared. And where did it get me? A death uglier than anyone's. "Help me dress," I said calmly, my tone utterly flat. The maid froze, clearly not expecting the new bride to be so composed. Just moments ago, the lady had seemed completely dazed when she woke up. "Yes, madam," the maid said, scrambling to fix my hair and makeup. I stared at my young face in the bronze mirror, quietly plotting my next move. "Yes, since fate has given me another chance, this time I won't be that naive, sweet-natured daughter of the Marquis. And I sure as hell won't be the manipulated, framed, and sacrificed wife. I'll be the most honored woman in the capital, and I'll make everyone who wronged me pay." "Madam, the Marquis is here," the maid announced just as the door swung open. Mo Beihen walked in, looking as handsome as ever, though with a hint of distance in his brows. He wore a bright red wedding robe, making him look like a jade-like figure, yet as cold as the depths of winter. "Kingsai," he called, his voice laced with something I couldn't quite decipher. I rose and gave a slight curtsy. "Greetings, Marquis." He reached out to steady my arm, and the warmth of his fingers made me want to pull back, but I held still. In my past life, this was the moment he took my hand to lead me to the ceremony and to my death. Not this time. I wouldn't make the same mistake. "Let's go," he said, his tone as indifferent as if he were discussing the weather. I followed him, each step deliberate and measured. As we passed the garden, I spotted Lin Rauer standing by a rockery, dressed in a thin spring gown, her eyes full of resentment as she watched us. This time, I clearly saw the cunning in her gaze, something I'd never understood before my death. I stopped and said to Mo Beihen, "Marquis, I'd like a word with my cousin." He frowned but nodded. I walked up to Lin Rauer and lowered my voice. "Cousin, I'd advise you to drop those little schemes. Otherwise, I won't mind showing you what regret really means. Her face shifted, clearly caught off guard by my bluntness. She bit her lip, eyes reddening. Sister, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Don't understand? I sneered. Then let me make it crystal clear. If you dare lay a finger on me, I'll have your entire family buried with you. With that, I turned and returned to Mo Behan's side, a practiced smile on my face. He gave Lin Rower a thoughtful glance but said nothing. During the wedding ceremony, my heart raced not from nerves, but from exhilaration. As the rituals of heaven, earth, parents, and mutual vows were completed, I knew that my path of revenge as Shen Kingsei had officially begun. On our wedding night, Mo Behan didn't touch me. He stayed in his study the whole night. I was happy for the peace and slept soundly. The next morning, a maid reported, "Madam, the young miss is here to see you. Tell her to wait." I took my time washing up, changed into a goose yellow dress, ate breakfast, and only then strolled leisurely to the reception hall. Lin Rower was sitting there sipping tea. When she saw me enter, she immediately stood. "Sister, I pay my respects." I didn't gesture for her to sit or return the greeting. Instead, I looked down at her. "Cousin, you're here so early. Is something urgent?" No, I just wanted to check on you," Lin Rower said, her voice so soft it sounded like fear. I smiled. "Don't worry, I won't eat you. But remember what I said, don't do anything you shouldn't." She bit her lip, nodded, and hurried off. I watched her disappear through the door, my gaze growing cold. In my past life, she always played the helpless victim, fooling everyone including me, Mo Behan, and the entire household. But this time, I wouldn't be tricked. Because I knew the truth, she was the real murderer. She had poisoned me. She had set up the fake pregnancy plot. Mo Behan had been completely manipulated by her from start to finish. And all I had to do was let Mo Behan see with his own eyes what his beloved cousin really was. That opportunity came soon enough. A month later, on Mo Behan's birthday, Lin Rower volunteered to perform a dance at the banquet, even hiring the capital's most renowned musicians. I knew exactly what she was up to in my past life. She used this occasion to drug Mo Behan's wine while I was distracted, then pretended to be drunk so they ended up together. The next day, he took her as a concubine. Knowing the ending, how could I let her succeed? I secretly bribed her personal maid to swap the drug with a laxative. Then I arranged a special gift for the banquet, a dancer from the western regions. She was skilled in a mesmerizing dance that left audiences spellbound. Sure enough, no matter how well Lin Rower danced, she couldn't outshine the exotic performer. Mo Behan barely glanced at her, making her eyes red with fury. Midway through the banquet, Lin Rower excused herself, claiming she felt unwell. I knew what she planned to do. I had my trusted maid slip something into her tea beforehand. Moments later, a flustered maid ran in. "Marquis, madam, something terrible. The young miss, she's in the garden with the musician." I put on a look of shock. "What?" "Lead the way." In the garden, Lin Rower was half-dressed, leaning into the musician's arms, exchanging sweet nothings. When she saw us, her face turned pale as a ghost, and she couldn't even speak clearly. "Marquis, it's not what it looks like. I've been framed." Mo Behan's face darkened to a stormy black. He stared at her, each word sharp. "Cousin, I've treated you well. Is this how you repay me?" "No, it's not. It's the wife who set me up." Lin Rauer pointed at me, her eyes venomous. I let out a cold laugh. Cousin, don't slander me. I've been at the banquet the whole time. Everyone can vouch for me. But you bringing a musician to this garden, what exactly were you planning? The onlookers began murmuring, their gazes filled with contempt. Mo Behan was silent for a moment, then said, "Guards, escort the young miss to her room. She's not to step out without my order." Lin Rauer tried to protest, but her maid held her back. I watched her being dragged away, a triumphant smile curling my lips. In my past life, she had framed me the same way. Now it was her turn to taste helplessness when words fail. But this was far from over. Because I knew Mo Behan still didn't fully believe she was a fraud. He was just waiting for the right moment to see her true colors. And I knew exactly when that moment would come. In my past life, 3 years after my death, the Empress Dowager would host a flower viewing banquet. Lin Rauer would use that chance to strike again, poisoning my tea slowly so I'd die 2 months later, then framing the Empress Dowager to force the Emperor to execute her. This time, I wouldn't let her get away. At that banquet, I would expose her completely, revealing everything she had done to the world. I'd make her taste what it means to have no place to die or rest.